YouTube, what is going on? Colin C and Joe P back with another amazing episode. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. Joe P is going to lead us off, and we will let you know what we're getting into today.
Basically, guys, what we're talking about today is the good, the bad, the ugly with at-home workouts.
We're going to start with the ugly because, of course, you're going to start with the bad and with the good, hopefully. The ugly, what we're calling it, is about as bad as you can get. The worst part of being at home.
I can't stop eating.
There's not actually a lot of them. I thought there were going to be more, but there's more in the middle category of the bad. But the ugly is where we're going to start that we think are probably
The worst.
Today. Basically, the first one, skipping your workout.
yeah, just not doing it.
Yeah.
Simply just not doing it. We're not talking about one day, one workout. We're talking about a COVID germ type of period of a year where you're stuck at home doing workouts and you have to stay motivated to do an entire year's worth of workouts at home.
Exactly, yeah. This is your at-home COVID. You're sitting in New York or someplace that is locked down and you got minimal equipment. You used to go to a CrossFit gym or Global Gym or whatever. You got no space now. You got no coaching. You got nothing. It's extremely hard to stay motivated. And so a lot of times what people just did, they're like, well, I could do this. If I was at home all the time, I'd work out all the time. Doesn't happen.
Nope, it's definitely not going to happen. What is going to be your mindset to get out of skipping those workouts? And there's going to be a couple things, but it is going to be difficult. So one thing that we suggest is that you really focus on movements that you can do at home. Don't focus on everybody else who has equipment. You've got to focus on things you can personally do. Because if you get caught up into your old routine all the time and skipping it or making it happen, it's not going to work. You're going to get burnt out within the first week.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, a good go-to all the time, we'll talk about this here in a little bit, but it's always body weight movements. You can always go to squats or lunges or burpees or push-ups or whatever, something simple if you don't have any equipment. Most people have something, but if you don't have anything, those are good go-tos always.
I think another good idea would be what if you could buy one piece of equipment that's universal. And I've thought about this a lot. My opinion would be a sandbag, a moderate weight sandbag that you can do squats with, you can do cleans with, you can do jerks with, you can do full body movements with this sandbag, and it takes up relatively no space. You can do some kettlebell swing type of movements with it. So if it were me giving you guys suggestions, what should you buy at home? Buy a sandbag.
I have nothing to add to that. I'm gonna cut me out talking right there. The next ugly that we'll talk about is ugly form. You know, a lot of times if you're using the programming from your gym or something like that, and you just simply have no idea what you're doing, or you went out on a limb and now you're using someone else's technique or programming or whatever else, and you just simply don't know how to do it, you don't have anyone watching you, so that ugly form can get ugly pretty quick.
Absolutely, and I would agree with that 100%. And you're not going to be, there's not going to be somebody watching you. You're not going to have that overarching, someone that you're like, oh man, coach might see me do that at home. That's going to start to slip a little bit, especially after the first couple weeks, couple months at home. Yeah. That starts to change in your mindset a little bit.
The bad, intensity-wise. Horrible, poor, low-level intensity is things that are just going to get you into this rut. You're not going to get any more fit. You're probably not even going to sweat. I mean, things like that are going to pop up at home all the time. Yeah,
the intensity thing is huge for me. If you're not keeping intensity and you can't find new ways to apply intensity, I don't care if it's intensity from 60% to 64%. If it keeps going down and down, you are eventually leaning towards skipping workouts and getting into the ugly again. So again, you've got to find new ways to stay intense. That's why I say grab a sandbag, grab a kettlebell, grab something. And a lot of gyms lent out their equipment, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just get something that you can at least apply intensity with.
And then if you can take that intensity and then continually change what you're doing with it, because the other that we're going to talk about for sure is just getting stuck in the same rut of doing like the same things that you're kind of good at. Like,
one popular definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome.
I'm really good at those sandbag kettlebell swings that are with the sandbag like Colin was talking about. I'm going to program all the time. Well, maybe you should program some jerks because you suck at those or something like that.
And that's exactly right. And you can't rely on a programmer that everybody is different. Some people have multi-$1,000 home gyms.
Right.
Some people have a sandbag. Some people don't even have a sandbag.
Yeah.
How is one person going to program for that? It's not going to happen. Getting them into a better intensity, trying to run something online is probably your best bet. So one of the final things of the bad, which is also going to kind of transition us into the good, is modifying and scaling. Exactly. Modifying and scaling is so important, especially as I can only talk for myself and our gym. We are huge on it. My programming, it's a little crazy from time to time.
Most people can't do it.
We just did 500 wall balls and I'm sure there's a lot of gym owners out there like, this guy's gonna hurt all of his people. Shut up.
I think most of them survived.
Yeah, everybody's fine. We're all still kicking around. You know, we're still moving and doing our shit. But yeah, my programming's tough and it's gonna stay tough and it's always gonna be tough. But how do you modify and scale is huge because we lean at OC3 on our coaches so much. They are with our clients more than I can be with every single one of them. Our coaches are with them more. So you don't have a coach at home. Who's going to help you?
Yeah, that's tough. No one's going to help you.
You're going to have to help yourself.
You're going to help yourself.
You're going to have to figure it out. So the bad could be if you don't know other scales or you don't know other ways to modify, where are we going back to?
Ugly. She ugly. U-G-L-Y. She ain't got no alibi. She ugly. Screw off.
Yep.
We're going back to the ugly, right?
Back to the
and
ugly.
we're skipping
Sitting on your
workouts.
couch. You're not doing them,
Yep.
And then we're just going down this terrible hill here. So, but having the availability to scale and modify some of these things
Yes.
with stuff that you do have at home, or if you kind of sit back and think about it, of like, well, it had this heavy wall balls today in this workout, but I don't have those at home. Maybe I can do sandbag thrusters or something like that. That's awesome if you can do those things if you have the availability. So that would be our first good.
One other point I think I'd like to add is that if you did do all these workouts at home, because we got kind of lucky to where we have stuff at home, we at least we had some flexibility being where we lived, but if you didn't have that, how many of you at home watching this video right now gained weight over COVID? Probably significant. I know I did. Probably a significant amount. So getting from the bad to, like you just said, the good is, how do we do it? Is you've got to consistently keep moving.
Yep, you got to keep moving. You got to that's exactly what it is. Stay consistent. Colin put up a tip of the day weeks ago, whenever it was, about literally just moving more often. If you can maintain just consistent moving or consistent workouts, or you got it planned out for your day. You go home and you do this, or first thing in the morning you do this. You got your workout already written out for you. That is best case scenario, especially in a crappy time like this where people can't go to the gym or they're sitting around at home. I mean, it sucks, but if you can be consistent with it, it's huge.
Didn't like beer prices or alcohol prices like skyrocket too or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Obviously not for bars, but I couldn't remember. I don't think they fell off as bad or something like that.
It was like their highest sales of alcohol ever in the history of making alcohol.
YouTube fact checkers, do your thing. But anyways, I know.
Drop a comment.
Yeah, I know there was a lot of alcohol sales during that time. Another part of the good that I think is really essential, especially if you're thinking about home, is you're around your family more. So maybe, just maybe, you've got a wife who hasn't worked out, or you've got a husband who doesn't work out with you much, or you got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a dog, I don't give a shit what you got, but they don't work out, all right? And you want them to work out. Enjoy the things you enjoy so you guys can communicate on that level. Maybe this is the thing that gets them over the hump, because they see you every day consistently moving downstairs, doing stupid burpees, doing all this stuff. Maybe one day they join you.
Yep.
Maybe it's one day.
And then I think one of the other ones that you didn't talk about were kids. You got kids watching you?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're always at home. They're always crying and complaining and...
It's all gone.
Whatever.
That's all
Anyways,
you do,
they're at
spending
home,
all your damn money.
spending your money and freaking eating up your spare time. But anywho, in your time that you
Kids
do
are
have,
great though.
Yeah, they're great.
Have a
We
bunch.
love them. Gotta have a couple more. They're awesome. Yeah, but set an example for your kids. I mean, kids watch everything that you do, and so if you're in the basement working out, they're probably curious because you're throwing that sandbag around. They want to see what's going on.
Yeah, if they see what mom and dad, what whomever is doing, they're gonna want to do that. They're gonna want to follow that path. So that's a great point, and even think about it.
If mom and dad are working out a lot, kids probably gonna want to work out. If mom and dad are eating McDonald's a lot, probably gonna be eating a lot more McDonald's. So choose that one wisely.
How many people went to working at home now?
Oh yeah.
So you've got time to make your meals. You can't even go to restaurants.
Yeah.
At this point in time, you can't even go to restaurants.
Make your freaking meals, people.
Yeah, you gotta be able to make your meals, and maybe it is more family time to help that out. I don't know, but I think it's something to at least note that maybe that is some good coming out of it. It also could be some bad because maybe you just realize that you fucking hate each other now. But,
divorce rates are up.
But
call Kathy Carty.
Yeah, if you call her, you'll definitely win. If you don't, you're probably gonna lose. So in conclusion, a couple things that I think tie all the ugly, the bad, and the good together is that you're going to find things while staying at home and working out at home that really work for you and don't work for you. A lot of my clients, and even myself, when we've gone through this last year, 18 months, however long it's been, is that you're probably going to miss your gym. You're not going to realize how important that was to you and your success, maybe even in your job, or how you look or how you eat, but it does make you better. You probably just miss some, things like equipment, your coaching, the gatherings they have. You miss a lot of those things that aren't possible, but when you're stuck at home and you realize you don't have them, you realize how thankful you probably are that and how much you actually do enjoy going to the gym and being able to get out and maybe have conversations with people who aren't your coworkers or always your spouse. It's being able to get out and mingle with your friends again and things like that.
So hopefully this year has taught us one thing, and that one thing is that time is valuable, right? So there's only so much time in the day. If you are working from home still, or if you are working at the office now, if you're back to what you're doing, hopefully you're able to just get yourself back into routine. Get home, go do a workout, even if it's something, just move, get on a bike, walk, doesn't really matter. But hopefully something that we've said today has kind of struck a chord with you. And if you have done your workout today, or if you are back to work, or if you're working from home remotely, like and subscribe. That hits everyone that watches the video. So
What?
everyone better motherfucking like and subscribe.
Yeah.
If you work from home or if you work at work.
Well, what if you don't work? Let me give out a big fucking burp. This is just sitting. It's sitting.
Well, we got these fucking $9,000 chairs. Why don't they gotta have a burp in it?
Burp. Jesse to burp me.
All right, so moving on to the bad.
It's not happening.
The bad.
It's just not happening. All right, let's do it.
Colin had to burp, but he couldn't.